if he has Blink. He doesn't have Blink because he doesn't have a Twilight Council at all. So he has to come to those. Did you pull your drones? You did pull your drones. You didn't lose like almost any drone call. He was catching you on drone count though, so your income is relatively the same. So what you're gonna have to win on is your upgrades, which here you go. Here, this is a much better engagement. Though he did use force field efficiently. He needs to move his army back. Like fighting in range of these spine crawlers is stupid. Getting corruptors out is a good job. Like you were really ahead in this game, but I'm thinking he might. Well, that's a lot of corruptors. It's a lot of corruptors. He's gonna go ahead and lose both of these Colossus. But he is going to be able to push with his ground army skill, simply because corruptors are not going to be very effective at all at fighting Colossi and things. We're going to see if he's able to do enough damage. He's banking 2,000 minerals, which is just, it's terrible. It's god-awful. 2,000 minerals. You really, come on, Trap. You got to be way more efficient on the minerals. You've also only got 47 probes. Like, you need to make, like, 15 more probes. You need to throw a forge down 20 minutes into the game. No upgrades except for range and your Colossus. If you want to fight these, yeah, fight him in a little hole, and don't, so, why did you pull back when they were fighting you in this little choke? You pulled back and let them get a full surround. I mean, terrible micro from the Protoss player here. Just god-awful micro. I keep trying to tell him that, like, you really need to work on your micro, and that's exactly why you need to work on your micro. You're getting Immortals out against air units and Zerglings. That's not a good idea. Okay, we have more gateways, but you still have no forge. You're finally throwing down 2 forges, but it's 22 minutes into the game. Like, we could have had 2 or 3 upgrades by now. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. You have better dronage now. You just need to keep focusing on army. You really need to expand again because you're plenty fine now. You're just donating these Zerglings. I don't know why you should do that. So he leaves this one Zergling there. Just god-awful micro here. He's just going to leave this Zergling here to kill his pylon. Really, you're just going to leave this one Zergling attacking your pylon. That's a pretty even game. You have way too many drones here. You need to look at this, look at this, look at this. 30 plus drones here. You need to transfer some of your drones over to here, or you need to take another base. You need to take another base because this is just
that was
gone.
Joy.
Okay.
She's home now. You can go right after dinner. She said you can go tomorrow.
Okay. No workers on this extractor. No other extractor here. No. Oh, you do have workers on this extractor. You need to take your next base, and you would have noticed this. That might come back to hurt you in a second. I don't think you're keeping up on the army. Like, you have. Yeah. Well, if we look at the income tab, it's. Wow. It shouldn't be as similar as it is, just because you have way oversaturated the space. Way oversaturated. Like, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get crushed by this next rush, just because I don't think there's any way you're gonna be able to hold this off. Like, you don't have enough army at all. He needs to, yeah, really hold on to these. He's gonna lose all these zealots because he engaged too early. Terrible micro again. He's got the food advantage. He's got the army advantage. His army's a lot better than yours, even without the upgrade. You're only at 1-1 20 minutes into the game. He's about to be at 1-1. What are you doing? You have a huge army advantage. It's just roaches. There you go. Okay, fight. You're obviously going to lose your Colossus because you don't have enough Stalkers, which now you're donating the rest of your army, man. Oh, man. It's driving me nuts. You're driving me nuts with this terrible, terrible micro. And, like, you haven't scouted at all. You didn't scout his third at all. And then Lostin, you just need to be way more active on your getting more bases. Like, you should have had your fourth because you're still way oversaturated here. Your income is lower than his now, you see, because you're way so oversaturated here. But you easily pull ahead just because you can make so many units at the same time, and Trap's doing so god-awful on his micro, and he's not using a good unit composition at all. He needs a lot more Stalkers with this Colossus. Do you have Hive Tech yet? You don't even have Infestors or Hive Tech yet. You could have gone to Greater Spire and used Brood Lords, and that would have been good game. No micro here, not pulling back his stalkers at all. Now he's just sending these, he's going straight on the counterattack, which you are completely unprepared for. I have to think Lostin's probably going to take this game. He's 40 food ahead. You're not using this army efficiently, you're not scouting efficiently. Now he's pulling back. You're not using this army efficiently, you're not scouting efficiently. And you, Lostin, you need to expand a lot more. You're doing really well in your macro now, but you should have had this base so that you weren't so oversaturated here. You still have no people working on this gas, you still have no gas here. You haven't been getting upgrades despite that you have 3 Evo chambers. You're completely out of gas here, so you need to like transfer these drones somewhere. But you are still going to be pulling ahead. He needs to back these don't stop trying to take shots, so you're just going to lose all your stalkers. Okay, the only time you want to take shots is when you're really far ahead of the roaches like now, so you can kill some of the zerglings, but honestly, you're just going to lose them. You got all stalkers getting claws. See, there's what you needed to do a long time ago. So now you're pulling yourself back into this game. If you look at the units, he has 49 drones and you have 66, but your incomes are relatively similar, again, just because it's oversaturation. And once you get mined out here, you're going to be really far behind because you haven't put a hatchery down at your 4th yet. Like, you need to take a hatchery here. Same thing, well, Protoss needs to take another expansion, you know, here, or even here, he needs to take this expansion too. So, man, I don't know. This game, you guys are both playing really well, holding off each other's rushes and things, but there's a lot of, like, just macro issues you could have done a lot better. Like this huge amount of oversaturation, which is really killing your income right now, so you can't build as much army as you probably should. You really need to have this 4th earlier. Same thing with Protoss. Protoss needs to have his base a lot earlier. And then the unit composition. So, unit composition is fine now, and he had sentries, he was using force field, though some of the force fields were terrible. He's getting charged, not blink, but he doesn't have any zealots. I mean, and you have full, absolute full chrono boost. Chrono boost out more. Chrono boost out more. Now you're taking more bases, but why wouldn't you take this easy to defend 3rd? It's right, I mean, look at the drones are right here. It's really close to your spine, but instead you go up to here. You know, killing rocks doesn't take that long. If you put some zerglings on them at the beginning of the game, they'll go down really quickly. These stalkers are way more cost efficient. This looks like it's an even engagement. It really isn't, as long as he doesn't fail with his stalker micro, which he kind of is failing a little bit. Warp in some more stalkers, I'm sure you can, and then just send them over. And you have 2 immortals here, which would be really helpful right about now. Yeah, you're going to go ahead and lose this engagement. The food's relatively even still. No one can really push, but you are taking these bases, which he's finally scouting. He really needs to take his own 4th. Okay, you guys should probably, you know, this match looks really even. You guys should practice against each other more often, for sure. You guys are improve a lot more versus each other than versus me. 64 drones. You're getting up there in the drone counts. He also added on some drones, but if you had added on these drones a lot earlier, you would have a lot more income earlier. And then if Trap would have not been floating 2,000 minerals earlier, he would definitely, look at this, you're at 50 food. You are easily going to be able to push and end this soon. He's going to try and push and end this. He might kill a lot of drones simply because your army's out of position. What you always want to do is you always want to have your army kind of in between your bases, so I would like suggest it down in the middle here. That way your army can, you know, if you see an attack coming, you can move and block off an attack. So yeah, now you're gonna come from behind, which his army's not going to be able to escape at all. He's going to lose this entire army. He's going to lose this entire army, so that'll be good. Third player's probably going to win this game. I don't see any way the Protoss player is going to get very close at all, because he's going to lose this entire army. That was god-awful fucking micro. I mean, your stalkers have way more range than your roach, and so he walks up close to your roaches, giving them like 3 or 4, 5, 6 free shots. Like, terrible, terrible, terrible micro. Look at this. He's almost out of minerals here. He's definitely out of minerals at his main. Look at how many drones he has at his main doing nothing. Why didn't you take your 4th down here? And then you have a cannon, so like, or you have a forge. Cannonballs do really, really damn good against Zerg, even in the Master League level. Like, if you put a base here and then you put like 6 cannons out front of it, it's gonna like fuck anything that the Zerg tries to do to stop it. Look at these spine crawlers, my god, so many of them. Such bad placement too. You could have put them in this choke up here instead of where his army can walk around and snipe your buildings. But yeah, you could have definitely done a lot better with these mutas, because he hasn't put any cannons up in his minerals. He hasn't got any upgrades besides 1-1. You haven't got any upgrades besides, oh, you now are getting 2 attack from one of these, or you already have 2 attack. But I mean, you have 3 evolution chambers, haven't been using them all game, haven't been creep spreading at all. You have a lot of workers again still here. sitting back. You could have easily killed these rocks, taken this base. It would have been a lot easier to defend than these bases. Protoss player hasn't expanded. Protoss player's going to lose this game here to this Mutalisk anytime now. He's going to have to GG out. He did a terrible, terrible job with not only his macro, but also for sure his micro. His micro this entire game has been terrible and terrible decisions. He didn't get upgrades. He's at 1-1. He's in getting any more, even though he's had 2,000 build up. He saw the Corruptors. He continued going Colossus. Could have thrown down some High Templars. Got some Archons. Yeah, you think about that one? That one would have been really helpful. He's going to have to make this last-ditch effort, but he's pretty much screwed. He's going to lose all these guys at his third base soon, which is his only mining base, really. He has plenty of idle workers he needs to be working on. Let's look at his... Yeah, this is what I love, is that Trap has 92 APM, and his APM doesn't really count for anything because he doesn't do the most basic things. Like, you've had these workers sitting here for like 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. You've had workers sitting here now. You haven't been using upgrades, even though you have 400, 500, 1,000 minerals. You're going to get crushed with these Mutalisks. There's too many Mutalisks for your Stalkers. He's just going to run you over. Let's see if he has any upgrades on his Mutalisks. No attack upgrades. You can go ahead and do this. And bye-bye. You're going to GG here. Start going this game. You're just now getting Infestation Pit. Hey, guess what? Neural Parasites are really good against Colossus. But yeah, you win for sure. Easily crushed his Protoss player because he didn't expand again. I don't know why he hasn't expanded at all. He says he wants to work on his macro, but he doesn't take his fourth. I guess he uses me as a guide for when he should and shouldn't do things. This is GG. He can't move out. You can't move out. Like, you have no army compared to his. You need to GG, but I think Andrew's pride just really doesn't want him to lose. Here he is finally GGing out of this game. So this is a really good game. You guys should practice more often. I'm trying to tell Andrew this. You guys should practice a lot more often. Both of you guys could have worked on your macro a lot more, and Protoss, you need to expand. Like, if you would have expanded again, you were doing really good on your attacks, like Trap. So if you would have expanded again, you would have stood a chance to kill him if you had more income, or if you attacked at better placements. Like, but you kept doing these terrible attacks, and then you used god-awful micro and lost a lot of your units, and then, like, Lostin, like, you literally did almost too much droning at first, and maybe just because you get the spine. I mean, you're fine because the spine crawlers, as long as he didn't go for a 3-gate blink, which, I mean, that's what I would have done in his position. And then you should have taken those rocks out and gone for your other base. It was really close to yours for your third. It takes like 6, I think 6, or only 6, like 2 minutes to kill rocks. So just some things to think about. You expand into really far away positions. You can expand to closer positions, and then you can get banelings would have been really helpful. Banelings with speed, you were really killed. All of the zealots for sure, and then stalkers would have been really easy to kill. But you did fine. You won the game. So we're gonna go ahead and see how game 2 goes.